7 o'clock. Everybody is here except for Pam June, and she is on the phone with us. She's out of town, so she's on the phone. She'll be with us, and we'll go ahead with opening remarks. Councilmember Ward.
Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming, especially on this important night. Hopefully we can have a productive conversation, come to some good decisions that benefits the city. What we'd like to do is start with the prayer, and then we'll turn the time over to the Sea Scouts for the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you wouldn't mind. Our dear Father in heaven, we're so grateful for this time we have together to spend talking about our city and the direction our city might go. We ask that thy Spirit be with us this night, that we may know the best way to go and the best things to do for our community. We ask thy blessings to be on all those that are suffering in our community or finding themselves in hardship, that they may find comfort. We ask thy blessings upon all of us to seek wisdom and guidance and do what thou would have us do. We ask a special blessing on these discussions, and this we pray for in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Jim.
Color guard, attention. Will the audience please arise? Next salute. Color guard, present colors. Will you please repeat the Pledge of Allegiance with me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
32. Color guard dismissed. Audience may be seated.
Okay, item 4, approval of agenda.
I motion that we approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Jacob, seconded by Ryan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item 5, approval of minutes of last city council meeting, February 12th, 2026.
I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from February 12th meeting.
A second.
Okay, motion made by Jacob, seconded by Darcy. Any discussion?
I have something on that.
Oh, good.
In the middle of page 5 on the library part, what it says that I said was misunderstood. So what I said was the majority of our property taxes go to the schools, and some of that money should be used to fund the library, the county library, since kids also benefit from it. That was my thought.
You got that, Corey?
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Okay, all in favor with the changes?
Aye.
Right?
Opposed? All right, let's go to agenda items. Consideration for continuing flag service from Sea Scouts. Dean Stevens.
I'd like to introduce you to Miss Vincent. She's our bosun mate on the Sea Scout ship. You have to come.
You would like to thank all of you guys for your continued support, and we would like to continue our commitment to the city by putting up the flags at both roundabouts in town. If you refer to the handout that we handed out, for 4 flags at each roundabout, it would be $270. And for the activities that we do, Sea Scout is a branch of both men and women aged 14 to 21, and we do a lot of sailing and water activities. And we also have an upcoming trip to San Francisco. We also went to Willard Bay last year. That is the ship that we will be going to. But
In San Francisco? That's fun.
Is that the same one you've been going to for?
Yes, yeah, multiple years. It's the Matthew Turner. It's it's an actual school, so they have a professional crew that run the ship, and we go aboard and they teach our youth how to run the ship. All of the responsibilities of it, from navigation to setting the sails, everything going on. We spend 3 days out on the water. We go out underneath the Golden Gate Bridge all 3 days, out to open water for a full day, come back in, each of the kids are able to command the boat, learn the commands, give the instructions as to what goes on. So it's a very worthwhile opportunity. A little pricey, and it takes us a couple, 3 years to earn the finances in order to do this trip, but the youth come back with a phenomenal experience that they just normally don't get here inland. And we take them to Chinatown on the cable cars, and we make it a lot of fun for the kids, and it's very worthwhile.
Well, we appreciate your service to Millville. I mean, the flags and our roundabouts have been wonderful service for the community, and I am one in favor of continued support, so I appreciate you guys doing that. Sure, I'll make a motion then. A motion that we accept the Sea Scout service project for our flags for another year.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Ryan, seconded by Jeremy. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Vincent, and thank you, Dean, for all your hard work.
Yes, sir.
I know
Thank
a lot
you.
of work goes into that.
Thank you.
Corey was ready.
Okay, we will go on to item B. Consideration of resolution accepting the Stewart Land Company zone change request from agricultural to residential R1, residential R2, 35-acre parcel 03-035-0037 at approximately 4th South between 100 East and 2nd East. Now we have one gentleman here that missed the public hearing because the date was changed and he wasn't made aware of it. Would like to make a few comments, otherwise that'll be all the comments that we received from the public, and that's Brad Brown. So we'll turn some time over to Brad.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate the time. I left Thursday morning and I told my wife, I said, it's going to be a late night. And then I got a call about 11 o'clock that, hey, why don't you have the meeting? And I said, what? And so I'm sorry I wasn't there to answer questions, and I know most people were there. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. We really have tried to listen. We've tried to take copious notes on the meetings and the planning commission, city council meetings, and we've had a few pre-development meetings. And we would like to be a good partner with the city. We understand we're not going to make everybody happy, and you know, we also recognize you guys have a hard job balancing, you know, what's best for the city, what everybody wants, and which is wide and varying, and also, you know, property rights. But we did have another meeting since the last time, and you know, we tried listening to those ideas, and we came with kind of a forward-thinking idea of how to, you know, preserve agricultural heritage, but I think it was, you know, it was perceived as too much, and still, and so the direction we went away with was to have some varying densities and mix it up, and while I recognize that, you know, some would like very large lots, we can only do what we can do, and we felt like we took that and we came back and you know, the plan has been presented with the R1 and the R2. We hope it's perceived that we were listening with what we were able to do. And you know, I recognize that not everybody loves this idea. And I think that's really rooted in Millville is special. And I've said this before, you know, I think nobody who lives here wants to lose whatever it is that makes Millville special. I personally believe that, you know, I believe in that sentiment, and I share in that. And I believe the project that we're trying to do is one that will complement, you know, country living at its finest. And, you know, we feel like this is a good opportunity, and we really do want to be good partners with the city and provide something that maintains country living at its finest and makes and keeps Millville special. So, I don't know if you have any questions or. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead. Any discussion on this? Do you have any discussion or thoughts about this rezone? Or any motions?
There is a little bit of so I've had a lot of the comments that I've heard have to do with, well, what we're going to do with water, how it's going to affect our sewer, our storm water, and things of that nature. And those are all wonderful questions, and I'm grateful to have such a community backing and making sure those things are taken care of and thought through. But I did want to take this opportunity to explain a little bit more about what that process is. So in this,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And it was explained a little bit in the planning and zoning meeting last week as well. What this rezone, the purpose of the rezone is more of an idea of what we want the city to look like, how we want the city to shape in the future, or to maintain shape, whatever that may be. As far as, let's say that a subdivision was proposed in the zone that it already wanted to be in that case, we would not have had the open house meeting that we had last week. At that point, a subdivision with a plat would be sent to planning and zoning, and planning and zoning would check to make sure that it meets all the requirements for the zone that it would be in. And then from there, so they would check lots and right-of-ways and make sure that all those requirements are being met. From there, stormwater, culinary water, irrigation, sewer, other utilities are laid out. They need to meet the city and industry standards and receive approval from the city engineer. It's the engineer's appointed position that we send out to a firm called Franson Engineering. There's also in that phase where environmental, wetland, flood plan issues are addressed. A lot of people have brought up those issues with regards to the canal. A geotech report would be acquired, and then roadway design, and if applicable, a traffic impact study would be conducted. So while a lot of people brought up legitimate concerns about water, sewer, stormwater, those are things that have to take place after the zoning, and the developer would be required to meet those standards. There is in no way would us approving or disapproving of this zone change that process that a subdivision would have to go through. I know that feels like a tangent, but I feel like there have been enough concerns risen about that that I wanted to take a moment to explain that.
So move for a second. Corner's too tight for a guy like me. I'm gonna push through that wall.
Can I say something?
Sure, Pam, go ahead.
Okay, so, as we discussed in November when we talked about this, that, you know, it might be ideal if we could do an area with, ranging from 3rd to 2-acre lots with all of it mixed in. I don't know how you do that, but I did talk to a local realtor who brought up, a development in Hiram that just progressively got bigger, so they had their minimum lot size and then bigger and bigger and bigger until it became like, multi-acre lots to preserve the agricultural feel. So something like that might be ideal. I think this, just that end of town with the roads and not enough ways out to the highway, I just don't think that end of town is ready at this point in time for this much development. And then we do also still have that code that I mentioned back in November, the 16.04.060, that says all subdivisions shall conform to and be in harmony with the general plan of the city. So that's still in place. And then we also have the planning and zoning did not recommend approval for this.
Anything else, Pam?
Nope, that's it.
Thank you. Okay, any other thoughts? I did want to say one thing. The city has the water. Water's been brought up, it's been put in the paper, we don't have enough, we do have enough water. So if they develop that as 3rd-acre lots out there, we have the water. We have a very good source of water. They said last year we run a little lean, which really we didn't get to a part where we needed it, but we were pumping out thousands and thousands of gallons of water to put on the roads for the sewer. That's done. That's not coming out anymore. So just for information to clear up some of the things that have been said. Okay, council. Any other thoughts?
You say?
Want me to go first?
Okay.
Gosh, I've been thinking about this a lot. This is Jeremy for Pam, or anybody else listening. You know, the first time we went through this, just a week ago, it weighed hard because, you know, whatever we thought was really going to affect long term what's going to go on in Millville. So it really weighed me down. It felt heavy. And because I didn't feel like I was prepared to make a good decision or educated enough to make a good decision. So I really tried hard to do my homework, asked a lot of questions. I called everybody I could think of that could help me understand what this was. Lawyers, and there's a couple things that I kind of kept thinking about. One, you know, we have so many people interested in that property. Not just this one, but the whole section. And what I'm worried about is the precedent we've set with some of the subdivisions we already have at 3rd acres and most of the city's 3rd acres. We definitely don't want to go lower than that. No one's in favor of that. There's no will to do that. We'd like some bigger lots, but 3rd acres is kind of the sweet spot, it seems like, for most of the houses in our area. And I think we could stall off some of this stuff in the South Fields, but I think eventually it's probably going to happen one way or another. Like, we don't have any way to stop if someone sues us, and there's so many people against us, the state, the codes. It's a difficult thing that we find ourselves in. So how can we impact what's going to happen? And how do we want our city to look? I grew up in a real small city. I didn't even know country living in its finest was this, because I've lived here, 4 years, and I've not stepped in manure once. And that's all we stepped in when I grew up in Eagle, Idaho. In Eagle, I mentioned this before, no one I know lives there anymore, because no one can afford it, because they made the wrong decisions. And so it makes me real mindful, because I want my kids to be able to move here. I want my friends to be able to stay here. And whoever we choose to build over there, I want them to really be willing to work with the city so that we can set a precedent of what is allowed over there. Instead of losing a lawsuit and then being dictated what's being built over there. I also do agree with June. I wish there was another way out. I mean, there are certain times of the day in Millville you just don't drive. It's pointless. You're not getting out of here. So I wish there was another way out before we could get this in there. The other thing I heard is we just want to keep it like it is. Well, the only way we can do that is if someone buys it and puts it in the conservatory or decides they don't want to do anything. And I haven't seen anybody being willing to do that. I kind of like that. I'd be willing to put the first $1,000 down to buy that as a city. We already got someone farming it. I think he'd continue farming it. So there is some options, but if we're not careful, we're not going to be able to be part of the choice of what happens over there. And I think that's a real danger if we keep kind of playing games with that section of our city. Because if the most adamant guy that's against this was the mayor and all 5 of the city council, he still couldn't stop this eventually. But I just don't see this. There's so many things stacked against us on that eventually I think it's just going to happen. So I think the real opportunity we have is dictating what we want. And right now we do have a guy who's really willing and bending over backwards to try to do something that maintains the feel of what we want to try to keep in Millville. What I love about Millville is my daughter, I'm like, what are you doing? She says, I'm going out to the hood. And I don't worry about her. Like, this is about as rough as it gets in Millville. I don't care where she goes. I know she's safe. I love the people here. I love the kids. And I don't worry about my kid just going out, going to the park and having fun. That's what I'm hoping that we can keep. And that's my concern. If we're not more proactive about it, we'll lose that opportunity. That's all I got.
Any other comments?
I do. I have a couple, Mayor. First, I want to address a letter that was written stating that I had a conflict of interest. I'd like to read from Millville City's conflict of interest policy, just to lay some groundwork here. It says here, under this policy, a conflict of interest arises when an officer has a personal interest in a matter that is or may be in conflict with or contrary to Millville City's interests, objectives, to such an extent that the officer is or may not be able to exercise independent or objective judgment within the context of the best interests of Millville City. I know someone made a statement that I should not participate in this discussion because they feel like I have a conflict that is contrary to the best interests of Millville City, and I assure you that is not the case. I feel like that I should be heard in this case because at every opportunity that I've served on this council, I've always taken Millville City's best interests as I've made a decision and as I've voted. And I will do the exact same thing here and every time. For me, this isn't a difficult conversation to have today. I don't think we're much removed from where we were back in November. I think there was some requests made that you give us some time to address our general plan, that we get some better buy-in from the community. I don't think any development that causes a division within a community is a good development. You know, I understand where you're at, and I understand you're making efforts. I appreciate those efforts. But I do believe that we have some things as a community that we need to get in order first before we're prepared to bring any more developments of this size into our community. So you know, my opinion is it's pretty much where it was when we addressed this the first time. I appreciate the efforts, you know, to bring a little more half acre or a little more lot size into this development, but I don't think it's where I feel Millville City wants it at this point in time. That's all I can say.
Anything else?
Assuming that we're just going down the road, I'll take a turn. I've gone back and forth on this, and there are a lot of good things that could come from this subdivision. There's a lot of pressure from the state, a lot of philosophies indicating that we need to have more homes provided so that more people can live here and we can keep the overall Utah culture. I've heard a lot of people saying that we need to keep it Millville and that a subdivision of this size is not Millville, which I cannot agree with because the north side of Millville is all 3rd acre lots. That being said, and this is not all 3rd acre lots, but mostly 3rd acre lots. That being said, I said this before, even though I wasn't a council member, I do not believe that we want all of Millville to necessarily be the same. I think there is value in diversity of land use, and I believe that it would be appropriate and would be in the best interest of the city to keep some diversity in land use, and keeping the south side more ag, I think would be in the best interest of the city and our culture. That being said, I do believe that if this subdivision did come to pass, it would be fine. It would not be evil, it would not bog down the city. The purpose of the rezone is to see if that's how we want our city to be shaped, and I do not believe that we do want it to be shaped that way.
My thoughts aren't as prepared as I would like them to be, but I feel as though that we did ask for some time and some space to be proactive, and I think we have worked towards being proactive. We're working towards funding to update our general plan. We have new zoning proposed and in consideration right now that are both proactive in nature. I know that the first proposal in November and this proposal don't have a whole lot of differences, in my opinion, that are significant. The first proposal had half-acre lots sprinkled throughout the area, and this one has some as well. And so I don't necessarily feel like it changed enough to make me feel comfortable at this point.
Okay, any other discussion? I'll go ahead and accept the motion then.
I can make the motions, or can I do that for other citizens?
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll make a motion that we deny the rezone.
Okay. Motion made by Pam to deny the rezone. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Darcy. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
No.
Right?
Okay, so it passes. I am going to recommend that we put on the agenda for next meeting. It seems to me that a big deal is the master plan. To put a moratorium on rezone until the master plan is completed, and I'll put that on next month's agenda. Second, look at that. Okay, let's go ahead and move on then to item C, consideration of
One clarification, was your vote,
nay.
okay, so you didn't ask for an opposed, you just,
Yeah, well, I should ask for a post, sorry, but who's voting no?
You want me on the record big time or something?
it was,
I think they all heard it.
it was unclear to me,
Yeah.
because it wasn't,
Now that we're done with that part, I'm going to sign off.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you, Pam.
Thanks, guys.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's go ahead on to item C, consideration of resolution updating fees for zone change request recorded.
Okay.
So, the last time we updated the cost for zone changes was quite a while ago. We're lower than most cities, not lower than all cities, but we're not really covering our costs with the reviews, and then especially when a meeting is required. We used to have, Dave Dickey would just, it was almost free to update our zoning map, and we need to actually pay somebody to do that now. So there's additional costs now, and then depending on the size of the subdivision, or not subdivision, it's not a subdivision, not a subdivision. The rezone request, it gets more expensive as more is required and more public input. So what I'm suggesting is we update the fee from $350 to $550 for a zone change request under 5 acres, and for over 5 acres, $1,000. And that's in line, $1,000 is in line with some of our neighboring cities, and they have big enough rooms to house everybody. They don't have to pay a couple $100 to rent the school. So you guys could play with those numbers. I think an update is needed, but those are just my recommendations based on what I think it's costing us.
My only concern was when I first saw this, I was worried that it felt a little bit targeted because this rezone request came back. And I just want to make sure that it is not the case, is because we are not recouping our costs involved with the effort.
Absolutely.
Of the rezone.
And I mean, it's targeted in the sense that if they were to run around in a week before our next meeting, I wanted this on here now so you guys, because I think it needs to be
Get
adjusted.
their costs.
Okay.
So it's not targeted, it's just,
The
that's the
timing
real
of it
cost. I
is-
mean, we're,
Seems
yeah.
We seem to be slowly addressing some of our fees that haven't been adjusted for years and years and years, and this is just another one that
And also,
doesn't get addressed that often.
sorry, cutting you off right here.
You're good.
Also, the number of zone changes requests we'll have are very few now. They're not gonna be very many.
because they'll come at an annexation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll know what zone it's gonna be at annexation. I mean, it can change later, right? They can make a change request, but this happened when our code said all zone changes came into the city's agriculture, then another zone change request was needed to update it to residential or whatever. So it's not gonna happen very often, but when it does, I think we just need to cover our costs.
We're just covering the cost, I don't see a problem with it.
I had a point of clarification, and I think I understand that the reason why we're not doing it, we're using it as a 5 acre sort of barrier differentiation would be, instead of like a major or minor subdivision, would be just because this is a rezone and not an actual subdivision.
A 5 acre would still be a major, so at the subdivision stage, right? Because
But this is before the subdivision stage.
yeah, this is just coming into if you're trying to change your zone from.
Okay.
But the 5 acre is the same distinguisher that we have between a regular subdivision and
No.
a major subdivision.
No, it's not, because minor subdivision is 3 lots, and so that'd be, it could be an acre and a half, right? It could be, you know what I mean, it could be an acre, if it's 3 acre lots.
So hypothetically, if we have a 5 acre piece and it is a minor subdivision, or a 6 acre piece, excuse me, and it is a minor subdivision, it would still be the $1,000 fee.
I think we should draw a line somewhere. We don't have to, we can have one cost, and it's pretty arbitrary, the 5 acre.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys think it should be higher or lower, that can adjust. It's just, this is what Karen and I talked about we thought was a good line in the sand. But
Most of the cities just have a flat fee.
they do.
It's
Yeah.
just one fee.
But they're pretty high. So
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
have a 1 acre piece you're trying to change, you pay $1,000 in some of our neighboring cities.
That seems fair then.
I think you've done some good
And
efforts.
this
It can
is,
be whatever. I just think we should increase them.
and this is specific zone changes,
No changes, yeah. Rezone requests.
just so you understand that.
I personally am leaning more towards like Hyde Park has a 150 plus cost. That's something that I feel would be more appropriate. That way if someone feels more capitalistic, if someone were to try and find a way to save some money by keeping it easy and simple for us, they would have that opportunity. That being said, I'm not opposed to what is presented here.
I guess my issue with that, and we did talk about that, is what are costs? I mean, for a subdivision, we say it's professional fees, right? But it's not my time, it's not Kara's time, it's not, I mean, we could charge the school, if we have to rent a school, we could charge, if we need to involve an engineer, if we need to, we can do the zoning map change, but that's later. It's kind of hard to determine. Some of the problems we always run into with subdivisions too, and hillside overlay is a big one. Where do we draw that line? Because they vary all over the place. Yeah.
It wasn't something I felt strong on. I just liked the idea of, depending on what the request is and how much cost and time would be accrued.
Here's one concern I have. Let's say somebody comes in, they want to do a zone change, and we say, okay, it's 150, then we'll bill you later. If they get denied, it's really hard to get the money later. So,
No, that's fair.
Do we need a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we have the request for zone change fees.
You want 550?
And your motion is to.
For the 5 acres for 550
Just-
and 5 acres of 1,000.
as it's written.
As it is written.
Okay.
I'll second.
Your motion made by Jeremy, seconded by Ryan. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that passes. Okay, consideration, go on to item B, consideration for fencing Millville City-owned parcel 03037-0025 to allow animal grazing to reduce fire risk. Councilmember Rick Langer.
So we've talked about this before. This is to help with fire mitigation and to work with the wildfire cooperative agreement that we're working through. We met with the guy on like one of the snowiest days of the winter. No, it wasn't that bad.
For that one day.
No, it wasn't that one. It was the smaller one. And we got a quote, and I personally feel like the quote to put some horses in there will benefit us in a lot of way for fire mitigation. As was discussed before, that area in the summer of 2024 had several explosions and even 2 small fires, and the proposal to put some horses in that area would really mitigate the damage.
Are you thinking goats too, or just horses?
The one that makes sense the most to me is the horses, because the neighbor has the horses, they can easily water them and keep an eye on them. And then when, there's a balance between overfeeding it and making drainage problems. Chad brought that up, and that was a good thought. And
Overgraze it.
yeah, you don't want to overgraze it, and then just taking out a lot of the fire risk. And so I think using the neighbor that's right there is a great fit, and she has horses, and she can take them off as soon as we feel like it's done, so it's not overgrazed. That would be what I would
And
propose.
the 2 quotes that you got was 6,000.
Well, they were for different types of fences.
Okay.
One was for 5-strand for horses, and one was for more for sheep and goats.
Okay,
And that was the 8,303.
yeah.
Yeah, I know Corey had reached out for more quotes, but hasn't received anything yet.
But from the fencing companies, I think this is a good quote for how much fence they would put in. We could get another quote, but I don't think it's not gonna be much different. If it's any lower, I'd be surprised. We did talk about this, I think, a year ago, and one of the values then that's gone now, I'm not saying it's not valuable, but one of the differences between then and now is then we had with the wildfire agreement, we had a monetary requirement. And by putting this in, we would have just covered our costs for like 6 years. And we no longer do. I don't understand why nobody's been able to give me a clear answer why our monetary match went to 0, but we don't have a match there. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing things to reduce wildfire risk.
Right.
But I'm just saying that point, that benefit isn't there anymore for that one thing.
We talked about it last year, we didn't do anything, if I remember right? We didn't even approach someone about getting a fence bid,
No.
and we just,
The bakers came to us and requested it.
So I think it's a wonderful
Where do
idea.
you wanna spend more
I
money?
love the idea of fencing it, keeping it down, protecting the city from potential wildfires from that property. My concerns are property management, which you already discussed a little bit. But what do we do who's in charge of making sure that it doesn't get overgrazed? If
If a horse gets out or a
a
problem.
horse gets out or something like that?
Yeah, well, we don't want to be liable for that kind of stuff.
Right. What would
repairing
we
the
do
fence.
if someone came to the city and requested to graze their livestock there? Do we charge people to graze on that property? Like, there's a lot of managerial questions that I have. But I am in favor of the idea and philosophy of the proposal. I just want to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for,
well, we're not necessarily fencing it for horses specifically, right? We're fencing it, one, to keep people off of the city property. I mean, it's a liability for us to be on the property, to get hurt or whatever might take place. So I think the horses are more, or the goats, was more an idea that came a month ago for the real purpose of helping us with fire mitigation. And did we talk about fire mitigation last year? Was that part of our discussion?
After the fires, didn't we, for a bit?
Maybe this has been kind of brewing for a year or two. It's
Yeah.
kind of didn't come up. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't, as far as, do we get in a situation where now we gotta take a bid from individuals or whatever? I think as far as the city's concerned, we're really doing it with whoever's got animals that's close and convenient, and will take care of the grazing. I mean, if they're horses tear the fence down, I would hope that we'd have some kind of agreement in place that we'd get them to repair the fence, and there'd be little to no expense to the city. Chad, you would have to manage that, you know, and your son would have to, you know, be at least.
As quoted right now, it would be sharing the fence that the bakers have,
Yeah,
and adding a couple additional strands on the
north boundary.
north boundary. Yeah.
So this is their property right here, so they have this
No,
fence?
they're just north where the house is.
Oh, right here?
Yeah. No, there. Yeah. Then that box is
Right there,
So where we put, so we're
Red-
putting
red
this
square.
where the red
fence.
square is. Yeah.
You put it right there.
And then Rocky Mountain Power owns east of us, and then obviously south of that is their substation. But that property between the deer fence and the Millville piece is Rocky Mountain Power's.
I wonder if they participate in that.
They probably won't want to pay for our fence. Darcy's been talking to them about working on their property because it gets overgrown, right?
Right.
No, I need to speak for you, but that's kind of
That was the idea.
yeah. Because they're closer to the hillside, we need them to do some stuff too. And they have a ditch there between the substation and the south part of the red line that is overgrown and needs some maintenance.
Where would you pull the funds from? We didn't budget for this.
If we were to do it, we have emergency preparedness and disaster relief, which are kind of, we use we use it for some supplies sometimes. We use it for our notification system every year. Other than that, it's generally just gets turned back in. So it's almost enough in there to cover this. It'd be a couple hundred short. So if you want to take it out of there, I mean, it could come out of there. I mean, it's money, you know? I mean,
It is, yeah, I mean, I just was curious where you pull it from.
Yeah, I mean, that's where it is in the budget now, and it just has to increase a couple $100, but, yeah, that money usually just goes back into the coffers every year. 'Cause we have 4,000 in disaster relief, that's gonna accomplish a lot when we have a real disaster.
What do you now? Just
Make it,
keep
or
it
the-
down.
Nothing. It's the old dump, so it's a big hill, it's slippery when it snows.
Yeah,
Wear terrible shoes.
it doesn't show the slope very well in that
Yeah.
photo. And
You mentioned before that there would be like a shared access on the property with the bakers. I'm assuming that there would be an access off of the main road. So we wouldn't have to, if we as a city wanted to get onto that property, we wouldn't have to go through the bakers to get to it.
What's in the quote is a gate on the west, you should.
Yeah, not on the-
I don't necessarily remember a shared access on the Bakers.
we just have a shared fence line.
No,
like,
it's
on an
just where's the
Yeah.
access?
So the access would be on the west side of the road, or the west side of the property against the road,
Against the
not
road.
shared access with the Bakers. So they would put their horse in through our gates that are against the road.
We also have a quota entrance on the east, a gate on the east so that fire vehicles could get through if they needed to.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we provide opportunities for other people, other than the bakers, to graze on that property as well.
Yeah, the access is off the main road.
It's good.
So, are we voting on this, or we
Yeah,
just stop?
we need a motion.
If it moves forward, you'd have to make a motion, then you think it makes sense. I like the idea, I just don't like spending the $600. It's like, posts are expensive these days, I guess, and pushing them around. No longer they $5 a post.
Can I make a comment? Or aren't we supposed to?
In regards to the fence, or,
Yeah, this property and stuff.
yeah, you live across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get a big discussion, but yeah, if you want to make
When
a
it
comment
comes
out loud.
to the cost of losing a home because of a fire, it's cheap money. And I'm also very concerned about the Dyer's Road and all that stuff that's in front of the electrical company. Who's responsible for that? You know, it's the city, it's the electrical company, nobody wants to take responsibility, and it becomes a real fire hazard.
Yeah.
This parcel's a little weird. It's owned by us, but it's in the county. The power substation is in the county as well. It's not in the little city.
Yeah, so,
You can't see it great, but that black line at the top of our
Yeah.
red there, that's the property.
Well,
City.
I would love it if the electrical company would take responsibility for it, but they don't seem to want to do anything about it.
that might be a good service project for the people that you know that have gathered around. I know there's a lot of people who would like to serve, and if there's a lot of Dyer's Road, that might be a good project for them to go for. Okay, is there a motion? Do I?
I'll make a motion that we approve the proposal to fence parcel 03-037-0035, conforming to the discussions that we've had.
Motion made by Jacob. Do I hear a second?
It's my proposal, am I allowed to second it?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll second. I didn't know if that was against the rules.
Second by Darcy. Any further discussion?
I just have one question. How would this fit, and how would this affect the fires we had last year to Chad? Because it was in a different place, George just kind of, because that was up above the deer fence, right?
Yeah.
So this is more like a fire, what is it, break or something we're trying to create, or just being good neighbors? Or?
And manage the property that the
Yeah, be
city
good
owns.
neighbors. Okay.
The city owns the property, they need to manage it.
Oh, I get it, I had a question.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I compare this to some of the other requests we've had for traffic lights and speed bumps and other safety issues that have come before the city. And where we are concerned about the interface and we are concerned about fires. You know, and I do think that Millville is a good steward over the property that they own. I don't discount that this would help, especially in the fire mitigation. 6,000 is a lot of money, and we're a small community, and I think 6,000 can go a lot of ways, and I just wonder if this is the best utilization for those funds.
Which one are we approving, the $8,000 bid?
Either, yeah, I don't think, yeah, I don't know.
Open-ended there?
Yeah, I guess he did.
I would like to amend my motion to the 6,736 bid.
I mean, is that the one that's gonna be, is that the one that makes the most sense?
You seconded, Darcy? Okay. All right, any other discussion?
I would like to say, and I agree that there's a lot of money, and there's a lot of things that we could do with that money. But my understanding also is that this first kind of came about because of some of the requirements that are being imposed upon us by the state for the WUI and other wildfire mitigation efforts that the state is putting forth. Is that incorrect?
I don't know. I know that's, I mean, I'm aware of WUI, but I don't know that this is a requirement.
It doesn't have anything to do
Okay.
with that.
Yeah, I don't think that it's a requirement, but I thought it was in response to some of the efforts.
Does it qualify for some of that?
We have no requirements, so no.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? We have a first and a second, go ahead and vote on. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, that passes. 3-1.
This is my bread and butter for my whole career. There's grant money you can get if you're calling this move, in a wildfire protection area. There's money out there for you. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good.
Any help we can get.
Point us in the
Small
direction,
fish,
for
yeah,
sure.
that's right.
We
Yeah.
love grant money.
So
We'll also accept
It's a
donations.
good contribution.
it is, but what do I do?
Well, I believe that the motion passed, but if there are grants that we could pursue, we should pursue those.
How long will this quote last?
First,
It's up. It's a couple weeks.
Right.
we just have to check and see if there's a possibility. of-
So would you, in process of this, would you look and see if there's any funds out there that we could target? Give that information to Darcy?
Yeah.
Let her pursue them.
Talk to you? Okay. I'll
Awesome.
have a conversation with Scott. You do what you can do and we can,
I'll wait to hear from you.
That's fine.
okay, that sounds great.
Okay. All right, let's go to item E. Consideration for the purchase of a used sewer vac truck from Providence City. Public Works Director Kendall.
Okay, so we got a fortunate opportunity to pick up a back truck. We were looking, originally the sewer project had a budgeted a trailer. Problem with trailer backs, the hose is only 4 inches, they get plugged all the time, not much capacity. But anyway, long story, they're about 150 grand, so they're pretty pricey. Providence reached out, they bought a brand new back truck, and they were willing to let us, you've probably seen that in the workout, sell us a truck that they don't use their new one, they still use this old one, because they don't like their new one as well. They've really taken good care of it. Looks like a pretty good piece of equipment, so anyway, they've offered it to us at a pretty cheap price, so.
Is that the price?
25,000.
And it's in great shape,
That's-
2005, it's got a
That's,
brand new pony motor, and both pony motors have been replaced. Yeah, they've done a good job. They
What brand of truck is it?
that's a steal.
International.
International, yeah.
Whose back system's on? Do we know?
It's a good, I'm not sure.
It says,
I got a buddy in the back truck business, and some trucks are better than others. I would assume that
Yeah,
the
Rob,
cities do a pretty good job of buying good equipment.
I just
Yeah,
know
Robin
that
is,
all their employees are mad, because they showed up and said, don't take it, when we were looking at it,
So-
they
so-
did all.
yeah, Rob Stapley comes from, he's done that all his life. He started out with Niederhauser, so he's been around that all his life. And this is his go-to truck. He told me this is, I'm telling you, this is a great truck. And that's why they offered it to us. He said, I just don't want it to go to an auction or somewhere and just get rid of it. It's a great truck. So, it's not the huge one. You've probably seen the new ones, the gap backs. They're 700 grand.
Yeah.
So I can.
So yeah, when you look at that, so this is just a single axle, still has all the back capabilities. Just, yeah, we can probably fit it in our shop. I mean, they're still pretty long, you know, for tax work. But anyway, it's a great opportunity. We appreciate Providence doing it. We think it's gonna be awesome.
I can tell you one thing, they recently put over double that price into this truck.
Well, just the maintenance on a truck like that is you're gonna spend that a year.
Yeah.
25.
Easy,
Yeah.
yeah, with the vacuum, yeah, vac trucks they're an expensive maintenance piece.
Yeah, and it just
But they're
doesn't,
essential.
right, it just doesn't go to sewer, it goes to, you know, you can back out your street sign holes, you can back out your leaks when you're standing in the mud, clear your elbows, you can back out storm drain boxes that we don't get to, we can jet pipes, so.
You can dig holes for post holes up on the, up the east.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it sounds good, right?
We've already had, Chad and you've been
So this
in
is-
manholes,
Yeah.
down in manholes cleaning them out, so this would just, you know, you don't have to send somebody down there.
So
with
this is a
bucket.
bonus too, you know, 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, they rolled the sander truck off the Providence bench over here. It was only a week old. And so they have a stainless steel sander that was on that, that's still in pretty dang good shape. It's got one dent in the corner.
Just been rolled
And
once.
our one that we bought with Gary when I first started here, it's about, you can almost see through it. So we've also negotiated that sander with them, they're gonna throw that in for nothing.
We think.
So it's getting sweeter, we might just be dragging everything they got. But it's a great opportunity, because we were looking at nothing, we're looking at having to try, you know, Nibley's been great to come and help, we have had to do some backing. As of late, Nibley's been great to come and help us out, but, you know, it's always hard to just keep asking and keep
Be
asking.
nice to have your own thing to do when you need it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there might be times when we have to go to something bigger to a tough point, but it's nice to have it now, for sure.
We
So-
use it a lot more if we're not begging somebody to come help us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
You got one you need.
Just a quick question.
yeah,
On the top paragraph here, you said something, things included gas monitor, tripod, wrench system. So we're going into manholes. And
right.
that camera, so would this replace any of those, or those
No.
still?
Those are
things
other
we
things
can
we
do?
need to buy.
Yeah.
So when you shut the camera down, see it's plugged, this fixes that.
Right, I
Yeah,
figured,
so-
I just wasn't sure, because
Yeah.
I still have the term.
There are a few things that we budgeted for and we planned, equipment wise, that we needed to
Yeah.
get to run our system. All these tools are part of that.
I was kind of hoping maybe it was a tripod wrench or
But
something on
A
there.
back truck seemed to be like out there a few miles, you know,
Yeah.
so. And like Ryan said, it's, most of them, you gotta watch, you're just buying a bunch of stuff. One of the guys that put a lot of the main line in here, he bought 2 from somewhere and had them shipped out, used back trucks. They only lasted about a month.
Yeah.
And then parts
This
broke. and
sounds
this
like a
broke.
really finicky piece of equipment.
This one here has been, well, I mean, you can look at it, it's been well
This is what I'm
maintained,
looking at, but-
so, yeah.
I know my buddy, he loves to buy cities. He loves to
Yeah.
buy different municipalities because they take generally good care of them and they,
And the reality, a lot of them, they sit in the shop a lot. I mean,
They're not used
you
like
know,
a
consistent.
contractor.
Yeah, they're not ground every day, so they do sit. I can't remember, it didn't have that many hours on it. It's not, yeah, so,
And you need to buy like all the attachments and different fittings, and this has all of that, like,
it's all set up.
yeah, it's ready.
all the jetter
Is
nozzles
there
and all
any
that stuff.
downside to this?
No.
If you say no, I guess that's what else. I don't know.
What's the
No.
maintenance cost?
On a truck like that,
Yeah, and
it
do
can
we
be,
have budget for that?
it can be rough, it really can, because as the mayor said, you know, those pony motors could be 10 grand a piece, or maybe more. So you just don't know. I mean, yearly maintenance, hardly nothing, so it's just kind of goes, fix what's worn, you know what I mean? So
So we hope we're not.
change the oil, change that kind of stuff.
That's a concern, right? I mean, that's a concern with buying used all the
It
time,
is.
is the
It is.
condition of
It
the
is.
equipment. But, you know, typically, if you're buying something from that they're digging a lot of holes or pulling a lot of gravel, they're really working that piece of equipment, the tank, the suction lines, they're wearing them out. Typically, you don't get that in most municipalities because they're digging a hole here or there.
Yeah.
They're sucking
It's not
sewer
going
lines.
it's not going
You know,
everything like
they're
it-
not heavily using like what Whitaker Construction or one of these other guys would be, but.
But we're probably buying this thing, if it kicks us down the road 5 years, we'd probably get scrap metal out of it and pay
Yeah.
for it. Because we're buying this so cheap, and it comes with the 8-inch tubes, which, you know, when you're backing up rocks, you're backing everything. So,
So the staff report mentioned that we haven't purchased a new backhoe, so would this take the place of that purchase?
No, we still need
Just
a
for a few
backhoe,
minutes.
just wouldn't be this year.
yeah. That's
I'm still
probably,
trying to get a backhoe from the sewer project. There's still some games to be played there. But I'm just stating there that this is in the budget.
In
to come-
this year's budget, in
correct.
place of the backhoe, but the backhoe would need to be addressed at some point then.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
we will need a
yeah,
backhoe.
Okay.
it's coming soon. That's probably
This is just an opportunity.
a backhoe's really
It
probably
is.
needed more
It's
than
an
this,
opportunity.
but this is such a great opportunity, we can't pass it up type
Okay.
thing.
And if we get the sander, we need one. They cost like $15,000, so.
Yeah, that sander alone's, about 15 grand. Slight dent in it, we don't worry too much about that.
We like that though.
Have you, like, I don't know, when we look at new cars, we take them to
Oh,
someone?
yeah, have it checked out?
Yes.
No, I trust Rob, he's the public works director, he's, like I said, he's been up through this, he's done this all his whole life, and I think we've got a good enough rapport that he's telling me, and that's what he said, he goes, it'd be a shame if this truck goes somewhere.
Off the record, you could probably sell it for more than that
Oh,
if you
yeah.
felt like you needed to get out.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I've got somebody that would buy it for
Cause
probably
he,
almost double that.
yeah, he called me originally, and I just told him first, I'm like, dude, we can't swing that, and he said, I'm telling you, it's ridiculously cheap. And so then we started talking more and looked at it and said, oh, okay, it is, yeah. It's well equipped, like I said, some of those jetting nozzles that go in and then pull back, they're $10,000 a piece for just the nozzle that goes on the end of the hose, it goes up sewer and clean stuff, so, yeah. And it's got all that stuff in it, I mean, it's ready to go. You buy a brand new $700,000 one, you also buy the new nozzles and new, so, yeah, I think it's a good
Do we
purchase.
need a motion or?
Yeah, it's up to you guys.
I'll make a motion, we buy this truck.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Jeremy, seconded by Jacob. Any further discussion?
No, thanks to our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
in
that was
favor?
awesome.
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect, thank you.
Nobody opposed, okay.
I let Providence borrow it from us occasionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Go to item F, consideration for Millville City Library survey.
Is this the one to save the one over in Providence?
That's kind of what this is about. It's, they're debating back and forth. Nibley City has participated in Hiram Library for a long time. Hiram Library has changed the amount that they're charging Nibley City. And so I think Nibley City is kind of jumping on the bandwagon to get involved in this one and maybe even purchase it. I don't know, so the debate's back and forth. Anyway, Providence City has sent out a survey. They send it to River Heights, and I think River Heights has sent out a survey. And
Was it at River Heights and Nibley? I saw there was QR codes over there.
it'd be River Heights, Providence, Nibley, and possibly Millville that could be involved in this, depending upon
How
what
much
it is.
money are they asking for? Is it
have-
$250,000 to keep that thing open?
Well,
It's undetermined.
yeah, it's undetermined right now. My problem is this. I want exact figures and they can't give exact figures.
We were talking to them the other day, and they said it was $250,000.
That's
It
what
seems
it's
a little
costing,
ridiculous.
that's what it's costing right now, but they would have to downsize and change things. And they understand that. Mendon is operating on, I think, 75,000 a year. The one out in Richmond is operating on, I think, 105,000 a year. And so there's lots of things that need to happen, but I want an exact price. They want the survey sent out to people to see what they want. The original was saying that we might charge you $5,000 and then charge each of your residents $20 to get the library card.
Per year or?
Per year, yeah. And so those are things that have been discussed, but I think they're wanting to send out this survey to see how people feel about it. I just want to know how the council feels about it. I don't want to get into a scenario, me personally, where they charge us $5,000 this year and it's $10,000 next year. I worry about that, especially where several entities, and there are some cities that have started what they do, 2 or 3 or 4 cities and charge them a tax. And the one in Richmond said, well, it's free to everybody. I said, okay, it's free to them, but what is your taxes in regards to the library? Oh, it's $40 a month per resident. So I guess that's free, I don't know. But anyway, those are some of the discussions that have been set up, and I just want to know how the council feels. If you want to send out a survey, if you want to.
Well, the surveys, it's always, they word them like, do you want a library? Well, yeah.
This one's worded a little better, and we would do our own. I don't want to have somebody else.
No,
maintain it.
we could make up our own.
This one's worded a little bit better, saying, are you willing to accept a tax increase, or are you willing to pay? Yeah, it's not like the rec survey. Are you interested in having a pool? You know, yeah, we need to be really clear.
I don't want a pool.
We need to be really clear on the impact of the residents on the survey, I think.
Especially where we don't know the cost. I mean, it seems like that's hidden.
How come we can't get costs out of the situation? Why does that continue to be such a difficult hurdle to get over for them to, they're operating at 2.5 times what every other community with a small library is doing it, but we can't yet nail them down to what?
Because they don't know if Nibley's gonna be on board.
Yeah.
Well, what does that matter? How does that matter based on
Operating costs are operating
Oh,
costs.
who's gonna,
Yeah.
they think the operation cost is gonna be 70, 80,000. They're gonna drop the hours availability. Yeah, that's what,
So what are they doing to accomplish that from their 250 to 70?
instead of having 3 people working there, and have 1, it's gonna be part-time.
And Providence would put in estimated 30,000, Nibley would put in an estimated 30,000, that's what they've been paying Hiram. And then they would expect some from River Heights and some for us. And that cost is not determined, which frustrates me, because it's almost like saying, well, I might participate and I might not participate. Well, give me a number that's gonna cost us before we participate. And so they decide to send out a survey to find out how many people want it. And then I don't know how that's gonna affect their decision, but apparently it will.
So their operational costs will be whatever it is they can generate
Out of us.
out of the neighboring communities.
Mhm.
And it's not fair to ask the survey if you can't tell the people what they're,
Well, I think that a survey would give us an idea of how much people are willing to spend on a library. I think that's
So
what
we
the
have,
heart of
we
what
have
this
like
survey
different
is.
things, you willing to spend $10 a month, $20 a month, so we can have a free library?
Yeah, I think, so in reviewing what the Providence was, they had different ranges, like, are you willing to spend between this amount for library, this amount for library, this amount and up? And then people would select where they're comfortable
I'm
spending.
more comfortable with that.
If they
Last
would
ones were just,
rather-
they're just so open-ended, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
You run into the same problem, right? You have the people that are interested in a library filling out multiple versions of the survey, or, they're more likely to fill out a library survey if they want a library. So you get them saying, yeah, I'm willing to pay, $50 a year, or whatever it is, for a library.
So it skews.
Well, it's skewed
What's the
for sure.
threshold? What percentage of our community needs to participate in the survey, and what percentage of the community would use the library to say Millville wants to participate? Because it can't be the 16 people that are going there now.
Yeah, I get a little bit frustrated because the commitment level, the Providence mayor said, I will turn it over to you, we'll let you use the building, we'll do this, we'll do that, and you guys run it and you get the money.
Does Providence own the building?
Providence owns the building.
And they're gonna just turn it over?
And to let them people use it as a library.
Are they gonna still charge rent?
They wouldn't charge.
They weren't.
Oh, great.
But that's, it's still, we need to decide as cities what we're willing to do.
Do we feel like that library is of value to Millville? If we feel like the library is of value to Millville, then I think we take the survey. If we don't believe it's a value to Millville, then I don't think we need to move any further. But I think if it is a value, we need to determine what level of value it is to the people of Millville, and then we can determine whether we want to participate after Corey's survey.
Yeah, and having
Not
said
Corey's
that, you can go,
Your name's on it, Corey.
you can go into any of the libraries, the Logan Library, the Hiram Library, and look at books and do whatever you want in there. You just don't have the power to check out a book. So those are still accessible to our citizens at no cost.
You just can't check it out.
Yes.
Do you have access to the programs?
You can get in, you can do whatever they have in the library.
So like the reading to kids and those programs?
Yeah.
They don't check if you have a
You can do
library
that.
card with your actual, they only check your transport.
Because there's not very many books here, and what I keep hearing the pitch for is the value in it is in the programs. The programs are gonna be diminished if the staff goes down, first of all. Then if those are available elsewhere, I don't know.
we don't pay for it because it's county.
I think,
But the county wants to shut it down.
so what you were
But the
saying,
county
right, I think it's a little bit of a
wants to shut it down.
catch-22, because we're like, well, do we think there's value to them? In my opinion, the survey is to determine if there is value to Millville. Because I can say I use the library, you say you don't use the library.
See, I use the library, but is that still the best? Just because I use it, I'm not voting for me, I'm voting for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think you're right. We need to know whether Millville wants a library. Because I don't go to the library. You were right. I mean,
I'm one of the 60s.
Yeah, that's why I want the survey.
Yeah, I don't go to the library anymore.
I use
But my daughter does.
e-books and
And her
stuff,
kids do.
but
But
I don't go into the library. I use the electronics that they have available, so I buy.
And those values come with the cost. of the
Yes,
library.
but I buy the Highland City Library.
so you go to Hiram's library. You go to the Providence one, right? Or the county one, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You were saying last month you go to Hiram. Is that correct?
Go to Hiram, I have a Providence library card, but I haven't stepped in there except to get the card. But I use it for the Libby app.
Yeah.
And I have a question about that. I was speaking with the mayor of River Heights. He was saying that the lines are much shorter on the Libby app at that library because of the usership. So his daughter or something is back east but still has a card here and lives in a big city, but she can get books quicker here. I don't know if it has the same volume or selection.
We don't have the same selection the larger libraries do, but the lines are shorter. I also have Libya.
Yeah, so does, in fact, there's a certain amount of Logan people that come to Providence Library, there's a certain amount of Hiram people that come to
There's more
Providence
Logan people
Library.
than Millville people that go there.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah.
I
Just
don't
like
see
at
a
the library,
difference in the
someone had
lines
to go to
versus
get in the line.
my account on the Hiram and the Cache County Library.
Seems
As
similar.
far as the length of wait time for the audiobooks and things seems to be very similar and kind of dependent on the book.
And do you
the
notice-
selection is less.
You notice a selection difference, though? Okay.
Okay, so what does council want to do? You want to
What are
send out
you-
a survey?
Are you asking us to
Yes, I'm
vote on
asking
this?
you to tell me whether we should send out a survey or not, or what you would like to do.
I don't feel smart enough to give that opinion. You've been to the meetings, I think you should decide.
Well, I don't know.
He doesn't, you get a tiebreaker vote.
The reason is, they wanted us to send it out,
Yeah, and I told them I'd take it to the council first, that I didn't want to make that decision on my own.
especially after the last council discussion about this,
I don't
They
have a
wanted to
problem
send
with
out
the
a library
survey as
survey
long
after
as
that, so.
we have, as long as it's clear, it's gonna cost people money. And if we don't get enough back, I don't think we should use it. Because it'll be skewed.
Enough applicants or survey?
If we get like
participants?
50 back, that's not a fair,
That's not going, yeah, it tells you that
it's just
probably
skewed.
interest ones will do it. But those older people that don't use it, they may not even do it. And so do you just take the
They may fill it out, 'cause they
50?
don't wanna pay more money.
Yeah, well, I
Right.
hope.
That might motivate people to fill it out.
I feel like if we don't have a certain.
Can it be a
amount-
mandatory survey like the federal government sends out to everybody?
Well, I forgot to put that.
I don't want it to be skewed and then it not really reflect the will of what we're trying, what the city wants.
We do have a fairly involved city right now.
Feels like it. That's the only caveat I would put on it though.
Well,
Is
I-
it's just, if they're so low,
Percentage.
if it's so low, it won't, either way, it won't really represent what the city's want.
I think that's a fair threshold to put on there, but I do
So
think that
low.
I think it's worth having a survey to find out what is an interest in work and what is not.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we have a survey with the understanding of pricing, and that if we don't have a reasonable, I don't know how we want to put that.
Is it motion or?
I just have a motion. Is there a consensus amongst the group to go forward with the survey?
I think
Yes.
so. I don't know if there's a consensus, but
And my only say in that would be to have Corey draw it up and send it to all of us so we can see the survey prior to sending it out. And you get approval from each of you, and then we go ahead and send it out.
I'm okay with you approving it, Mayor.
Okay.
I think that the survey, once it's approved or whatever that means, needs to be in the newsletter. And if we had a Facebook page, we put it on there, but we don't, so never mind.
Somebody will put it on the,
Okay.
Put it on our website.
yeah, put it on the website for sure. And
How
we'll
long are you
put-
gonna leave it up?
Well, if we're waiting, it won't be in the March newsletter, it went out today, so it'll be in the April newsletter, so we need to wait till then, probably end of April. I don't know if that's okay.
Well, if they make a decision prior to that, let them have it.
Could you put a
If they
QR
don't,
QR
we'll-
code at the posting places?
Yeah, in the post office, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. All right, let's move on. That was helpful. Okay, let's go to city reports. Public Works Director Kendrick.
It's going good. I assume summer's here. It's been getting pretty hot. Maybe now we can officially give up that winter's just not coming, so
Take the plows off, huh?
we've opened stuff up, pickleball's open, tennis is open, restrooms are open.
Do all that at Will Snow.
Yeah, probably so, you're right, yeah, we'll freeze everything out, but, yeah, so the parks are open and people are playing and enjoying them. Streets, it's nice we're drying back out, getting 12 inches of snow and then melting that and then getting another inch and a quarter of rain. Got a few sinkholes here and there, we're staying on top of that. I'd appreciate a call if you see any, because sometimes they're not there in the morning and they're there in the afternoon. But now we're drying out, we're slowing down, so, but if you see any, that'd be great. It's just, that's a lot of water to run anywhere, especially in trenches that have only had a year to sit it, but anyway, it'll all fix up, but, so roads are doing good, water is great, we've come to another cycle, another couple of weeks, we technically now start sharing our spring, so we'll be back. This weather comes, we might be back on wells before, normally we start wells middle of May, usually is about when we start needing them. Our spring, usually the farmers don't need it, so they're willing to let us take it till they do need it, but, so yeah, other than that, I think it's going good. I don't know, we're getting plenty of people hooked up, they seem to be staying busy. I don't know where we're at, 100, 110, 20 maybe, something like that, is up and hooking up. We periodically check it, seems to be flowing fine. Lift station's working great, haven't had any trouble with the lift station at all, so. On the city part, I think we're in good shape, so. Any questions, concerns, thoughts? You haven't run into any contractors that are not doing well? No, actually, the ones in town are doing quite well. We have one that, but he's left town, so we're okay with that. Long term. I don't know. But yeah, most of them are cleaning up good, I think the homeowners and the contractors are figuring it out, and the end result of getting what they're planning, So, yeah, I think it's going good. Yeah, we haven't had any complaints as far as contractors.
We're getting a few pieces of sidewalk broken by them and tracking those so we can make
Yeah.
contractors fix them.
Yeah.
It's going pretty well.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's good to hear.
So we're still plugging along, and we have a lot of interest. We've gotten a few calls on some new contractors who want to come in town, so, yeah. So, yeah,
Good.
it's going good.
Congratulations on your new truck.
Yeah, thank you. It's exciting to be able to get a sewer truck, right? Yeah,
Something you've always wanted.
that's something I always wanted. We're in the
Just love his
business.
smile.
It doesn't even smell either. It's
Ooh.
pretty good.
We can
so.
fix that.
Yeah, we can fix that dirty, yeah. Yeah,
Chad, if you hear of any people that need help cleaning up,
okay,
you'll let me know.
okay.
We'll see if we can help.
I have a list.
Oh, good,
The youth council would like to help with that, so.
good. Yeah,
I think the young men and the boys ought to have all summer.
yeah.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well, most of it, I think, you know. Some of them are challenging, some of them are going all the way around the back. They just done Stringham's house and it was all the way around the back. It was a long haul, but looks pretty good.
I had asked Chad when the pickleball lights and such were gonna
Oh,
be
yeah.
turned on. I would like to respectfully request that they not be turned on just yet.
So where's the line? What do you, I mean, 'cause it's
In the-
ideal.
In the fall, we turned the lights off before they closed the pickleball courts. I think that would be something similar, I don't know, April 1st to October 1st, or a 6-month thing, I think would be fair.
You're my bosses, you talk to them however, whatever you want, we can do, you know, we have them. It's gonna get 78 here.
We'll put that on the agenda for next
Right.
city council meeting. These lights and those lights.
And leave them off until then.
We'll discuss it. Well, I can't promise that.
Why not?
Because people are out.
What should we do? Should we leave them off?
Yeah, you tell me what you want to do.
What are we
They're
doing
off,
with
they're
that?
off right now.
We
When
turned
we
them
turn
on
the
when
lights
we've
off.
opened them.
Typically, we just open it, same like the splash pad. When we open the splash pad, we open the restroom.
It
It's
seems like
when we open something, we usually just open it. But,
Turn them
and
off.
really, the most effective time is right now for lights, because
It's pretty cold.
in the summer, it don't get dark till 10:30.
Yeah, but they won't play if they're cold. It's good right now because it's dark earlier. Right, in the summer, they almost don't need them because it's
It's
almost
light.
night.
Yeah,
6 to 10 is fairly
Part-
light.
Is it mainly at night that we're seeing them on, or you got people here in the morning and they're turning them on?
In the morning, they get turned on too, yeah.
Yeah, they will for sure. They'll be on, I mean, 6 to 10 is the hours we've had them.
Which is plenty.
part of the
I think
problem.
Well, it is plenty, but it's not being used right. So we see know what to do for now.
Yeah. Part of the problem, if you get out there and it's 40 degrees or cooler, you'll crack balls right and left.
Yeah,
You hit those and they're cold and they just.
you just hit too hard.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they're not getting
Oh,
used.
yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
that's,
they'll
I
use
mean,
them. Yes.
I mean, I know pickleball courts, I mean, everything in the news is they're bad neighbors, you know, so I'd like to be a good neighbor with our pickleball courts as much as we can. I don't want them not to be used, but I do think that we should be a good neighbor. I don't know what that means, you know, but, I mean,
What does the council want?
Yeah.
I just want to be a good
Turn them
neighbor.
on? Okay, so
So,
you say turn them on.
no, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying, I mean, I don't know
Wait
what
for
I'm
a
saying,
couple
I'm
of
just
weeks.
saying.
What do you, I mean, let's
Maybe we
get.
should wait until the overnight average is 40 degrees.
We can do that. I don't care,
You said
whatever the council wants.
I don't want to try to figure out, I mean, if
You
you're gonna
can't
pick a
change a
schedule,
lot,
do
yeah.
April to October's, I mean, whatever, just pick a schedule if that's what you're gonna do.
So, yeah, so he knows when to send them on, or when to put
I
them on.
don't play, so.
Me neither.
They bring a lot of people
I don't live next to one either.
that don't play pickleball as well. The park gets a lot more evening traffic when the pickleball lights are there.
It's a hangout place, it's fun for people.
And I would say let's maybe prevent that as long as we can.
I don't have a problem with April to October. I don't really.
Yeah, if you want to do, you want to do April 1st to
It's only a
October?
couple weeks away.
Yeah, I know.
I'm okay
I was-
starting in April.
Okay, okay.
I was thinking that it might be more advantageous to do April 15th to October 15th, because I feel like the fall is better weather than the spring. But I don't know if that's always accurate either, but.
Let's turn them on in April and we can discuss it and we'll determine when we want to shut them off. If everybody's okay with that.
Okay.
So April 1st, we'll turn them on.
I'm
With the
okay with
regular
that.
schedule.
I'm okay with that.
So April 1st.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Council member reports and other items for future agendas.
I'll go first, we can go on the line if you guys
Okay, go ahead.
care. I don't
I'll see Scott.
there. No, just a couple of reports. Youth Council sure been fun. They did a couple of things this last month. They had a wonderful event for the soldiers. That's not the right word. Thank you. And man, they had a video that made me want to sign up, but you know, you have to have original knees or something. I don't know. It's a big system. But they did a wonderful job. I mean, they really touched those men and women that were there. Really good food. I ate too much of it. Peach cobbler was delicious. And then they had a delightful banquet up at Utah State with all the youth councils around the state there. And one of the things I thought was really cool, they told a story about how they took all these youth councils from all across the state. They were the president group or whatever that kind of planned this event. And the kids actually planned this week-long event with some help from the adults, but the kids were in charge of it. So they took them up to Bear Lake and the adults took off. And the kid, when they get back, the kids are all outside the cabin on their phones. They're like, crap. And what they said is like, we're having a little disagreement and we just needed to take a minute. And they're, well, you need us to help? And they're like, no, we're fine. And so they took off, and the reason they came back, and they had gotten together and decided that they wanted their theme to be unity. And not everybody agreed, but at the end of the day, they had a compromise and they kind of came together. And they really had a nice feel about the kids. They were having a dance, and the youth are impressive in my opinion, and I'm just glad to be around them. They do want to do some service projects, so if you guys have someone, if you want to reach out to Alicia, just reach out to Alicia and they'll be on it like move on it, you know. So she's been bugging me about it. I was going to bring it up, so I did. But you can reach right out to her. You have her number?
Yeah, I do. I have her number and you know.
Great.
The
Yeah,
names and names as they come in.
They'll get it done. They're good. Because I'm a glutton for punishment, I went to Facebook, started reading some of the comments. They weren't too bad, but one of the things I keep seeing consistently is about the speeding in the city. And I know there a lot of people are appreciating the new signs. How often are we moving those? And are we sending that data to the police, and are they actually doing something with the data? Or I know we haven't had them very long, and I just was curious, kind of an update on that.
So they're ready to move. It's just a matter of taking the time to pull the reports and then get them moved.
Where are they now?
They're on First North, and they'll move to Third South is our next spot. The sheriff's department will be at our meeting next month to give their report and ask for more money. So it'll
be a good time to bug them
we'll
about
have to talk about speeding and if they're actually writing tickets.
Well, they had a couple guys after church this week, which is always nice.
If we observe somebody that is driving erratically and almost cause a wreck, can we turn around and follow them and?
No, you can call the
I wouldn't
cops.
do that.
Call the cops is all you can do.
So can you follow them long enough to get their license plate number?
You can do whatever you want, but you can't pull them over.
Just be careful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of crazy people out there.
I know, but there was a very crazy driver just Tuesday, I believe, that almost ran into me. And I wanted so bad to just turn around and chase him down, but I didn't.
That was good constraint exercise by you to probably not approach that.
Yeah, if you get the wrong person and you start doing that, it could cause problems.
But we are trying. I would love to get some more of those signs. It seems like there's a need and a desire for them. They seem to be people are wanting them in their driveways and stuff, so I'm glad to hear they're being used. That's all I got.
Okay. Ryan?
How we coming on our general plan applications for funding, where we at on that?
So the application was submitted in December, January, I don't remember, and we're supposed to hear back March or April.
So hopefully by next, we can put it on the agenda next month.
We will if we get.
As soon as we get
We'll
it.
know if we're awarded the.
By then?
Potentially.
Well, keep our fingers crossed, that'd be great. We need to
I
do
don't
that.
have anything other, just curious where that's at.
When I was reviewing the agenda for today's meeting and we were looking at the parcel that was previously discussed with the fence, I was wondering why it has not been annexed into Millville City. I know there's not a direct benefit, but it seems kind of silly to have a parcel owned by the city that's not in the city. So I wonder if that's something that we want to do or if it's not worth it.
I want to do it when there's something else up there that makes it happen.
It costs quite a bit.
It's about $2,000 to do an annexation.
And we're just up in our fees.
Yeah, we don't.
Not for annexation.
Yeah,
just for-
You're right, I was kidding.
For a reason.
We were offered the parking lot up there too. So there's several things, but if you have the parking lot, you don't have the road. There's just a lot of broken up parts that.
Yeah.
If we take that parcel, we'll have to take the whole road.
Yeah.
And it's just I mean, I don't see any benefit in moving it. It doesn't make sense, it's out there, but I don't see any benefit in moving it cost-wise and what the county, the way they feel about roads. It will result in us having the whole road up there.
Okay.
So it's not worth the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just know that everything in there is in our annexation plan. We want all that to eventually be part of Millville. And it's kind of a, when it comes, we accept it type of thing, so. I'm okay with us not annexing it. I just want to know what the thought process was in not having it annexed. That's it.
I have a meeting with Jill Gilbert. For the city celebration next week, hoping to get started on the planning of that and looking forward to it.
Jill's wonderful.
She's good. Okay. Anything else?
That-
Corey?
Your meeting is next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have anything more, Dusty? Do you have anything, Corey?
Nope.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
Take a motion, we adjourn.
I will put on the agenda for next time, though, I will put a possible moratorium for
Hasn't been seconded.
zone changes until we get the master plan.
Good.
Yes.
So that hopefully will stop them coming in with this little thing and that little thing, and we can get it organized and set up so that when we do come in, we'll be prepared.
I wanted to ask, we'll have a budgetary meeting for the 2026-2027 school year next.
No. So the next meeting is just the quarterly review like we do every quarter.
Okay.
But any budgetary items can come up. And then the real deep dive into the budget is the next meeting.
May.
Is May, then June is the final deep dive and adoption of the
So we
budget.
only do 2 months of deep diving.
Yeah, I mean, you
Something
review
to
it
look
every
forward to.
quarter. So you will review it 3 months in a row. And you can talk about anything you want next time, it'll be the budget meeting.
Okay.
Is anybody gonna second my thing?
Well, she had stuff to say. I'll second your motion.
Okay, motion made by Jeremy, seconded by Ryan. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Utah state law protects that.
Say hi to the show.
I will.
I think it works.